At the risk of being accused of saving some of the best items for last, I want to show you a couple other little gems. I saved them till the end here because I really wanted you to appreciate how helpful these items are. It's possible that you've stumbled onto them already, but if not, right here in your Redshift cluster, you have these tabs right here across the top. The information you find here is status related to your Redshift cluster. Straightforward information, but does show some order of operations. Now this cluster performance might kind of look familiar. If you notice this metrics drop down, these are the very same metrics that you were seeing through that CloudWatch. For example, we can collect database connections. So you kind of have a dashboard just right here. Other things like write throughput or all the metrics together. Now, this is what it is, and so maybe it's not as customizable as what you would get with your dashboard, but it is already built and here waiting for you. On the Database Performance tab, we get more throughput type items. And then something that's really helpful is the log of recently ran queries. Now, on an extremely busy Redshift cluster, you will have queries drop off the end here. So you'll still want to go back to your long-term logs if you're monitoring something for more than just a day or two. But other than showing you what queries have been running, you also get this excellent tool here to dig into your query plan. We saw how to get the query plan, and I walked you through what the individual items mean and how you can trace each of those back to individual steps. But these tabs here actually break the plan down for you. If you click on the actual tab, you can see each individual step. Clicking on each individual step breaks down the information contained within in a way that's much easier to look at. And you can access all the other steps from right here, as well as obtain metrics for the entire query, such as the number of rows returned, the total bytes returned, execution time and how that's all spread out across the nodes. Lots of very good information, presented in a way that's easy to consume. And then finally a couple of tabs for monitoring your previous loads and the ability to restore individual tables. The beauty is now knowing where all this information comes from if you want to research something deeper or compare and contrast one query to another, you now have all those tools as well. And with that, that pretty much brings us to the end of all the things that I wanted to cover in this course. So if we take a quick glance at what we've covered. We talked about architecture. Primarily, we talked about how Redshift uses column-oriented storage to really increase the efficiency of aggregates and OLAP type workloads. We covered data loading and how compression can make a world of difference for the speed of your data loads. We also covered how Redshift can analyze data as it comes in and make design choices for you with regards to how it compresses within the cluster. We talked about elements of table design and how to relate one table to another. We talked about the constraints and how they're informational only, but still important. We covered some of the aspects of queries, specific behaviors that are naturally high performance and others that aren't. We covered some of the best practices for making sure that your queries are as efficient as possible. And then we dug into a whole variety of ways to monitor. Dig in and actually see what's going on within your cluster, how the queries are generated behind the scenes, the decisions that Redshift is making, and how you can affect those items for the better. I really appreciate you spending this time and going all the way through this course. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Twitter at SQLJudo. I do try and answer all questions within a day or two. If I don't know the answer, I promise I will definitely try and at least find it for you. And with that, hey, I hope to see you out there and good luck with all of your AWS Redshift projects.